Welcome to Get the Facts, the program that provides you with information on government's policies and initiatives. I'm your host, Theodore Henry. The Ministry of Local Government and Community Development, through the Board of Supervision, is ensuring that provisions are made for the homeless in our society. As a result, the Board of Supervision will be undertaking a national homeless survey on October 6 and 7 this year, starting at 5 a.m. The survey is being done in collaboration with the Social Development Commission and the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Here to share more about this National Homeless Survey is Trika Lewis, Corporate Secretary at the Board of Supervision. Lady Lewis, welcome to Get the Facts.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Let's jump right into getting some facts.
Sure.
Questions.
Oh, Lord.
So, let's start by defining homelessness. What's that?
Being homeless, obviously it refers to being unhoused, but it's really a little bit more than that. There are a number of vulnerabilities that are involved, but for the purposes of this survey, we'll be using the definition of a person who is living in conditions that are not suitable for human habitation. So we look at the car parks, abandoned buildings, vehicles on the streets, in the gullies, etc.
Okay, got it. And for some who are watching now, perhaps the Board of Supervision is not a very well-known name. So we've defined homelessness. Now tell me, what is the Board of Supervision? What's its mandate? What's its role?
You know, it's interesting you say that the Board of Supervision is not a very well-known name.
I'm assuming.
You're right. And you're absolutely correct. But coincidentally, the Board of Supervision has been around from 1886.
Wow.
The Board of Supervision is that entity that kind of laid the foundation for social work and welfare delivery services in Jamaica. And that came out of the Poor Relief Act, which was a remnant of our, colonial history.
Got it.
So the Board of Supervision, through that Poor Relief Act, has been mandated to provide services for persons who are most vulnerable. So we're looking at persons who are in need of institutional care, and that's where our infirmaries and Golden Age home play a role.
Okay.
Right, as well as persons who live on their own, but they need assistance in terms of their daily living. So we provide that type of support through our poor relief departments for persons who are vulnerable or destitute. And now, of course, we're talking about our homelessness program.
Yes.
And a lot of persons remember, that incident that happened some time ago in St. James, forced removal of street people.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So coming out of that, which was a tragic incident, something good happened. Because of that commission of inquiry, it mandated the Ministry of Local Government through the Board of Supervision to provide and to have strategic plans or a strategic plan for the homeless population.
Right.
So it's starting out of that we started to put the different initiatives in place to address homelessness. And that has led to a significant amount of improvements, I believe, over the years, especially in terms of our infrastructure, which before that we really didn't have places that catered specifically for homeless persons. Right. And just to end out on what the Board of Supervision does as well, we also have our indigent housing program. I know JIS has covered a lot of our openings, right? As well as we do cater for children as well who need support to go to school.
Okay, my brain just fired up a while ago when you said children, because I was wondering, are children homeless?
Well, this survey, we hope, will capture that information in a more holistic way.
Don't tell me about the survey.
No problem.
I'm going to get there.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
good. Because that was a question I had. But so you mentioned some of the initiatives, some of the programs in which you address homelessness and this state of our homeless population. Could you tell us what some of those programs are?
Right. So at the Poor Relief Department, our Poor Relief Departments are staffed by social workers. An important work in social work is case management. So for homeless persons who use our facilities, we embark on a case management program for them. So we identify persons who can be rehabilitated and we work with them through our program. So that includes skills training, getting them back to the soft skills that they may have lost over the years, as well as employment placement. And we actually have persons now who are working in hotels, working even with the municipal corporations as part of their rehabilitation. Right. And that's just one aspect of the homeless program. We have our drop-in centers, which are the first point of contact for persons who are experiencing homelessness. So that's where you get your meals, your hygiene care, as well as medical assistance there. As a matter of fact, the Desmond Mackenzie Transitional Center, which is on King Street, downtown.
Right, yes.
Right. We partnered with the MOH, Ministry of Health, and every month the doctor actually comes to that facility to treat with the persons who either use the facility or are living at the facility.
Oh, okay. So I'm getting this sense then that the approach is both give a man a fish and teach a man to fish.
That sums it up quite nicely.
Not to limit it to men, per se.
Right, but historically and even now, based on the numbers that we have, the greater number are the men who are experiencing homelessness.
We might need a longer interview for this, but let's keep it moving, getting some facts. So you've defined homelessness. You've told us how the board works and what we're doing in relation to that population. But I have to ask. Family. Have you found that persons are homeless, yet they do have family? And what have you found to be the reason why those two things are a reality?
The family dynamic in homelessness is interesting because the family can be the contributory factor in leading to why a person is homeless, as well as the family can be the rehabilitative factor in getting the person back from the state of homelessness to now being fully reintegrated. There are situations of domestic abuse that can contribute to a person being homeless, just conflict within the homes. And we find as well that for some family members who are not able to manage someone who has a mental illness, or they choose not to treat with a family member who has a disability, we find that actually contributes to the person's being homeless. So it's an interesting dynamic. It can prevent it, it can cause it, and it can stop it.
Right.
Right.
So and this is something that I heard come out when you were talking about the social workers and how, the cases are dealt with. It's not a one-size-fits-all when it comes to homelessness. You have to sort of treat the situations as they are. Absolutely.
And I mentioned that there are so many vulnerabilities involved in being homeless. So it's not just about not having a home.
Right.
It's about all the other social issues that accompany being homeless, because I can have a home, or I was living in my nice family home, and as I said, something happened because whatever family dynamic came into being, and I'm displaced from that home, or I can't return to that home.
Right. Or a person, using another case example, you can correct me if I'm wrong, a person could have come from somewhere but is now bouncing around different homes, not really belonging
to
them.
That's correct. And we tend to refer to that as couch surfing.
Couch surfing. Yeah. The definition is pretty big. It's pretty big. All right, we're gonna go to a break now, and we're talking about homelessness. We're getting the facts on this and the programs and what help and assistance there is. Please stay with us.
Are you confident that you are the legal owner of your property? Take action to secure your property ownership. Get a registered certificate of title and become the legal owner of your property. To register your property and obtain a certificate of title, you will need to provide a tax registration number (TRN), a valid government-issued identification, a survey diagram, documentation to prove ownership, up-to-date property tax certificate, the names, addresses, and occupations of 2 neighbors over the age of 50 who are not family members and can give a declaration on your behalf. Proof that you have been in open, undisturbed, and undisputed possession of the property for 12 years or more. For further information on registering your property and obtaining a certificate of title, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. Email asknla@nla.gov.jm or message us at WhatsApp at 876-418-5089. The National Land Agency. One agency, one goal to serve you better.
Welcome back to Get the Facts. Before the break, we discussed homelessness, what it is, the Board of Supervision, and their role in tackling this matter. And still with us for the conversation is Trika Lewis, Corporate Secretary of the Board of Supervision. Now, let's get some more facts about the homeless, and in particular, the national survey that we very briefly mentioned in our first segment, Lady Lewis.
No problem.
The national survey, what is it?
Okay.
And why is it?
Why is it? What is it? Why is it? So the national survey is one of the tools that we'll be using to gather information on homelessness in Jamaica.
Right.
We intend to begin October 6 to 10. And October 10, let me just plug here that October 10 is also commemorated as World Homeless Day. So you see how the survey will tie into and our theme, which I cannot tell you offhand right now.
That's all right.
Yes, and so it will be between October 6 to 10. The 2 days that we'll be in the field, on the road, on the streets, capturing that data will be October 6 and 7. So that's when you'll see the team of surveyors who are coming out and engaging with the persons who are homeless. We are using a standard questionnaire. It's approximately 28 questions, right? And it's a mix of both quantitative and qualitative questions. So we get that comprehensive picture of what is happening in Jamaica in terms of homelessness. So in addition to the biography information, which we capture it, we will also speak to or ask questions like, why are you homeless? The type of family support that you have or lack thereof, what government services you would have accessed or be knowledgeable of or aware of, as well as your mental health condition or your actual physical health and the last time you went to a hospital, things along that nature.
Right. Do the case officers who will be carrying out the survey, do they also have the ambit to make some notes about the person that they're interviewing?
Absolutely.
Because perhaps a person might not be so able to self-diagnose, for example.
Right. So before we engage in the survey, we'd have a number of trainings leading up to. And one of our trainings came from Dr. Anne Morgan, who is a part of our National Homeless Committee. She was former Director of Mental Health Services in Jamaica.
Got it.
And so there are some of the things that she would have guided us on what to look for. We don't diagnose persons in the street. We can just look for certain conditions, and then persons who have been diagnosed, they will be able to say to us, and I've been diagnosed with X, Y, and Z. Of course, for this survey, there are some persons who will not want to engage with us, and that's fine because we do get your consent before. You can choose to stop the interview at any time you feel, right? And there are some persons who will not have the capacity to engage with us. And so the holistic information that the survey would capture there, we would not necessarily get it from those persons, but we'll actually just get a number. So the count. So we'll note that in halfway tree, at the stoplight, on the corner of X, Y, and Z, right? This person, but they are not able to engage with us.
Understood. What is this information going to be used for? And how will it be used?
Right.
I hope the difference between the two, like what's the access like and also what's the end goal?
So we hope at the end of the survey to provide a comprehensive report on the state of homelessness in Jamaica, the state of homelessness in each parish. And that information is important because that is what will help us to plan the different initiatives, to help us to guide what it is that we need to do. And what is important about the survey too is that we're getting it obviously from the perspective of the homeless person, because we will also be asking you, what is your greatest need?
Yeah.
We can't assume that it's getting a house, because as I said, there are so many other dynamics involved in being homeless. So we're hearing the voices of the homeless persons and using that information to tailor different interventions, different programs to best suit that clientele.
Right, right. So you're saying that there is actually a one-to-one correlation between the data you get and how our social programs are funded, how they are spun up, what the features are?
Absolutely. And what it is that we need to now create or put in place is it that the age of persons who are homeless has now changed. Are we looking at younger persons? Are we looking at more elderly persons? Is it that we need additional spaces within our infirmary facilities who need the type of one-on-one care rather than a night shelter where I'm able to care for myself? So that's when we get that type of information and we break it down, we will be able to better create programs to treat with the homeless population.
Got it, got it. Why now?
Why not now? Well, the last one we did was actually in 2017, so that's some years ago. And in addition to that, there would have been a number of major events that have occurred in Jamaica that we believe may impact the numbers. So we want to see between 2017 and now, we have gotten anecdotal information that, our numbers have increased, but we want to ascertain the real truth on the ground. And there's actually not a policy on homelessness as yet. And so the information that we gather will help to drive or inform a policy if and when that becomes a mandate.
Got it, got it. Can I ask you some numbers or some estimate numbers?
Sure, no problem.
So what's the estimated homeless count currently?
So currently, information that we gather from our poor relief departments, we estimate that there's about 2,400 persons who are homeless. And we also treat persons who use our night shelters, obviously, as homeless. So they are counted in the numbers as well. In our last survey in 2017, we actually had 1,938 persons who were homeless. So we see an anecdotal increase. A survey will give us the real numbers.
Got it. And we want those numbers to...
We want those numbers to go down. We want to be able to create the programs and the initiatives, the rehabilitation structure, so that our numbers can be reduced.
Yeah. Can you, we're very near the end of the interview, but can you just walk us through again the dates, the times, the how, just very briefly, so that persons, and how should we know? Will we recognize you on the street?
Well, I don't think you'll have much persons rolling out at 5 a.m. just walking along the streets saying and engaging with persons who are homeless. We will be working in groups of approximately 4 persons. So working with our stakeholders or collaborators for this survey, which is SDC. SDC is also an agency of the ministry, Ministry of Health and Wellness, as well as the Jamaica Constabulary Force, to provide that reassurance and the security that we need on the ground. Right. So we will be working in teams, approaching persons, of course, introducing ourselves, what it is that we're about. We're trying to do some public awareness so that when you see us rolling out, nobody is, afraid or hesitant to engage with us. And we want the persons who are homeless, who are actually, maybe tuning into JIS or listening, that they're aware that this survey is coming and this is what we'll be doing. And just to remind of the dates, it's October 6 and 7. That's when we will be in the streets. And then 7 and 8, we will do the hospitals and the different shelters. And then October 10, we will commemorate the different activities across the parishes that have to do with World Homeless Day.
Thank you. Lady Lois, we're in the final few seconds. Your final word to those who are watching.
Final words. Someone experiencing homelessness is just at the moment experiencing homelessness. It is not their definition. It is not who they are. It's just a stage in life that they have reached based on varying circumstances. It can happen to anyone, and I just encourage us to support as much as we can, volunteer at our facilities, at our drop-in centers, our night shelters, or transitional facilities, as well as provide financial support if you can, provide employment, provide training. You can come in and help persons regain their soft skills. So I'm imploring all of us to remember the humanity and the human beings that you see when you pass someone just laying on the ground.
Yeah, that is an impassioned plea, and I'm happy that we can platform such a call to those who are watching. This has been another discussion centered on getting you all the facts about the work of the Board of Supervision and its work to support the homeless. It's Get the Facts. Our guest was Trika Lewis, Corporate Secretary of the Board of Supervision. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm Theodore Henry. Take care.